Well, perfect. So we are ahead of time. We still have 2 minutes left. So we'll wait for others to join, especially our guest, Amrit, to join, and then we start. Good. Meanwhile, I'll discuss the agenda or the questions which I have. I'll just note it down. So, we start in 2 minutes. Perfect. So then I think we're good. What I'll do is, meanwhile, others are joining. Maybe you can go ahead and ask your question, so that I can answer for now. And soon Amrit will be here. So let me see if I have given him the correct link to join. Okay. So here he is. Perfect. I'll share the link to others as well, and then we'll be starting. Okay. Mhm.
Hi, hi Pritham.
Hi Amrit, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Perfect. So I was just posting a notification in the classroom and then we start.
It seems you have a very nice outdoor backdrop.
Yeah, I thought why not I should, sit here outside. So the weather is good. So yeah, thank you. Weather. Um, Good. Perfect. So we are good to start. Uh, I have already turned on the stream, so it's streaming already. Yeah, Amrit. So we had some offline discussions already, and I'll just make sure that recording is on, so that we can also post it later from Zoom. Good. So yeah, we had some offline discussions, and I was planning that in this call we could probably go a little in detail and discuss what we were discussing offline. The topic which I have, and in fact, some of the questions which I have collected is also I have written down. So to start with, first of all,
So
good
maybe
guess
can
by
we,
the way. Congratulations to you. Oh yeah, please go ahead.
no, I was just saying,
You're
can we
saying some.
share the like syllabus maybe for everyone's
Oh yeah, why not?
interest?
We should do that. Yes. So I start sharing my screen. It should be open. Yeah, it is open. I'll just share my screen here. Yeah. You see?
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, we can discuss. So first of all, I was going to congratulate you and Sumit that our guess was kind of in the right direction, right? So whatever we discussed on the
Yeah.
last call was
Yes.
very much relevant.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of things are there in the syllabus. So yeah, the moment I saw the syllabus, I was like happy that that time we spent over discussion was like that went well.
Yeah.
And yes, computer architecture is not there. So Sumit's
Yeah.
guess was right. So,
Yeah.
okay,
So
good. So
one thing is that so again in machine learning we have this notion of precision and recall. So in precision it is like of whatever we say how much of those were correct, and recall is more like whatever we said is it complete in essence. So it seems that most of what we have said is correct, as well as it covers most of the syllabus also. We haven't missed out much. So yeah,
right, right. Yeah, we did say something else, some extra stuff from that syllabus we pulled out from Roorkee. But yeah, I
yeah,
mean most of the things are here, and
yeah,
I feel that it's not too much they have added. I was assuming that
yeah,
probably half of the syllabus could be from data science and all, right?
yeah,
But all we see is these two things down here, right? Machine learning and AI,
yeah,
and this is about syllabus. And if we try to consider what is different from computer science, right? So, or maybe other way around, what's similar from computer science exam. So I think we do have probability and statistics over there, right? Maybe the coverage here would be much little wider, but yeah, we do have up to normal, normal, this standard normal, etc. Right? It is there, I guess,
yeah.
right? So
Yes.
I think normal distribution, etc. we have covered. Linear algebra is as it is, I guess, right? Calculus is also there in the part. These are, I would say, exactly there in the CS. The only thing I believe is that here they are talking about programming in Python, right? Because we are talking about MLAI, right? So Python is the right tool to use. So probably, this is different from programming languages or programming concepts what we have in computer science. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there is something which is added under database, which is warehousing, right? So
Yeah.
I always felt that warehousing is a good concept. It should be there in computer science as well, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's added here, which I find is good. And then
Yes.
these two topics, machine learning and AI. So overall, something about, I mean, anything about topic which you like to add, or kind of would like to give as a hint, who wants to start prepare early and be ahead in the game.
Yeah. So I think I think what we covered is that the initial topics are mostly very similar to the computer science one. So we could just go
Yeah.
ahead and start with the standard set of questions which we have in our repositories, right? So so we can definitely use previous year question papers a lot. Um, I mean, if you look at this, the binary search, linear search, I mean, those were the things probably I saw only during my gate preparation. After that, I don't think I have used it much. But
Uh,
yeah, but yeah, those are really fundamental and important. So yeah, so
yeah,
those things you can definitely, use the, like as a student, if I were writing it again, I would go back to CS previous year questions and start solving those. Um, so machine learning AI again, I think what we were discussing last time was about the fundamentals, right? So what I would do at this point is to get a, like, not to go into the depth, right? Because these are, each of this topic can be very well be 1.5 hour lectures. But I would rather go to a small resource, something like a 100-page ML book, which covers
yeah,
concepts in a very, let's say, in not so depth, right? I mean, we understand in-depth knowledge is required, but that's probably
yeah.
not the right strategy for an exam. So so I would go start probably with this 100-day ML book, and then um, just try to see if I can answer some of these questions. And I am quite sure, whether it is the logistic regression, k nearest neighbors, we do get a good understanding of those from this 100-page ML book.
Good. So just to add, I mean, I have already shared this book. This is
Yeah.
for everyone who is watching this later or right now. So this book is already available. I have also added this book in Classroom, so you can download it from there. The thing I like the most about this book is that author has written a disclaimer in the beginning that this book is a read first, buy later book. I really like this. I mean, I saw this first time that you
So
read it, if you like, you buy it, right? The book is shared openly, so that's really nice. I liked it. But by the way, the book is shared in the Classroom, and even you can download and start learning from it. So yeah, as Amrit said, like, it may not be covering every concept to a great depth, but yeah, it's a good point to start. So in fact, there is a question which is related to this, so I'll ask this. So I have a question which I received, is saying that what would be the best strategy or order of subject in which one should be preparing for the best outcome.
yeah, so I mean, there are a few ways we can think about it. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I have my thought process as well, so once you share, I would like to add as well.
so I would probably, like, it's so there is this concept again in computer science called as exploration and exploitation. So let us assume a student who may not have taken up machine learning and AI in their undergrad, which means it's completely new to them, right? Let's
Yeah,
assume.
yeah, yeah.
If
Hmm.
that's the case, then I would first go in, like the initial days, I would go into the exploit mode, in the sense that I believe most computer science students would have gone through database, would have gone through linear algebra, probability statistics, all those topics, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and again, you will get previous year questions specifically to gate for those topics. So I
Yeah.
would go and start with those concepts. I will go and start with solving questions on those once I get a clarity on the basic concepts on those topics.
Hmm.
1 month down the line, I believe I would start looking for exploring machine learning and AI, say courses or lectures that cater specifically to gate. That would be a wise strategy.
Yeah, yeah.
um, if if you ask me, or if I were to give
Hmm.
an example, I would rather do it that way, in the interest of time.
Yeah, yeah. Great. So yeah, so I was also thinking in the same direction. What I believe is, you know, uh, I mean, so I always remember, a talk our prime minister gave long back. It was, it was Pariksha Pe Charcha. Okay. And yeah, and I really thought, that, uh, I mean, it's not about being, supporting or being against to a person, but what he was suggesting was, always start with the hardest question in the exam. Okay. And I personally found this was, something, I mean, for me, or I won't teach this to my daughter, or, to somebody who I'm giving the suggestion, because exam is not about solving the hardest question, right? It's about getting the maximum marks out of it,
Yeah.
right? So what I believe, and I have always like advocated this, that if you are preparing for exam like GATE, start with the easiest one, okay? So just sit with the, let's say, exam and marks distribution, okay? And then you sort of, do the analysis that where can you get marks very easily, right? So
Yeah.
so when I remember my, preparation time, like I was doing a job, I was not in the motive of like going for GATE, etc. And it was October when I thought, okay, I have to write GATE. When the form was like, it was like the last date of filling the form. And once you fill the form, then you sort of cool down for some time. Okay. Then I thought, no, it's something I have to do. Okay. And then I started working on it, and I did this thing that I first sat with the question paper, marks distribution, etc. And I thought, what's easy to crack?
Yeah.
And then the first thing I did, that I knew that when I, analyzed the paper, I thought, I mean, at least to qualify GATE exam in any subject, you don't need to know the subject. So it's like if you assume 25 marks as qualification marks, which is roughly there, usually that's the cutoff. I mean, you have 15 marks of aptitude, right? You have roughly, 7, 8 marks, up to 10 marks of mathematics, right? And then you have other subject like digital and all those which are very common, right? So if I were to start, I'll start with aptitude, okay, which is like, I have seen GATE aptitudes, though those are like, at least the analytical part, right, are very easy. So somebody should, make sure that that part is covered very quickly, because if you leave it for the last, there is a great chance that you won't do it at all, right? So cover that part, cover, easy stuff like mathematics, linear algebra, right? Which I would say not easy, but these are very obvious. And you have a lot, as you said very rightly, that a lot of previous year questions are available, which will give you a, good depth when you solve it, right? So yeah, I mean, that's how somebody should plan. But just to add this to everyone, Amrit and I have been working on a very rigorous plan. So the idea we have discussed is that, see, it's already August, right? It's 15th August. And by the way, to everyone, happy Independence Day. We should have started with that. So, so anyway, yeah, coming back to this. So we have 15 days left in this month, right? Now, let's assume that this 15 day will pass on like this, okay? When you won't realize. So what we are starting that is probably September 1st, right? From there we are starting. So the planning should be in a way that you cover the entire syllabus in 4 months, right? Up to December. And then January should be kept for revision and a lot of test practices and analysis, and working on the weaker links which you might have left. So that will be the right preparation strategy. And to start with, how you should divide the subject, it's really, I think, contextual, and it depends person to person, right? What's your weak point, where you are strong, so you have to balance it out, but the goal is to get maximum out of these duration. So Amrit and I have been working on a rigorous plan. We will share you a 4 months, plan, like how you should distribute the subjects. The idea behind this is that we will, distribute subject in a way that the load is distributed. Okay. And at the same time, let's say if, machine learning and AI both are there, then which one should be prioritized and all.
Yeah.
If we talk about, let's say, data structure and algorithm, so it's always better that you first cover the data structure, then you go for algorithm. So we are working on this plan. We will share in the classroom very soon, hardly in 2 days. We just want to validate it very with few other people as well before we share and get the insight. So yeah, and meanwhile we have already started collaborating on free resources, okay, for the entire syllabus. The document is shared in the classroom, so you can access it. You can also leave your comment over there if you think something is really good and we should add to the document. So it's a public document. You can add comments as well. Yeah, Amrit.
Yeah, I think that sounds really a great plan, right? what you said. I completely agree with you on all those aspects.
Mm-hmm.
I will just add one minor point that, as a student, I believe what helped me most was the active discussion, right? So again,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get to, so I mean, at least in our time, there was this visit, like a pilgrimage visit to a place. Like we would go to a particular city where that city is famous for gate coaching, and So I didn't do that. I was at my home. So what helped me was this discussion in the online sessions, right? Because in the discussion time, I mean, see, I can read up all the material, I can answer in this MCQs, that's fine. But to get someone to validate my thought process, that is like someone has to spend time for me, and I get that for free in an online discussion for them.
Yeah.
So in that process, if anyone else benefits, it's great. But the way I see it is that as a student who has an objective to get a good score, is that someone else is validating. It can be a peer, it can be a guide,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah.
Yeah. So we have to be very, like, as a student, I believe someone has to be really active in posting questions, making sure that their reasoning process is well explained. Then it's very easy for someone else to help you, and that improves, that discussion overall improves one's thought process. And I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
actually
true.
encourage. So maybe we should have a
True.
platform in addition to this, a public document of resources. I believe we should have an interactive platform that would
Yeah,
enable
yeah,
such.
yeah. So, right. So, in fact, to add to this, the classroom which we have created, right? So it has a very good, question answering mechanism.
Yeah.
And there is one thing which we thought and we have implemented is this. That see, the key idea is that, when you are preparing, you should admit that you don't know, right? This admiration, right? Understanding your capability and just saying out loud that I don't know is really important, because I have seen, like, uh, many of the times, even if people don't understand, like, they just keep it to themselves, right?
Yeah.
And that obviously, I mean, it will likely lead confusion for them. So I believe this is the first step, but what we have done is, on Edredo, what is implemented is that you can ask question anonymously, okay, and you can answer anonymously. So at least this gives you a freedom that,
Mhm.
when I say anonymously, this kind of concept is called semi-anonymous. Like, you can hide your identity. You are not anonymous. I mean, you are authenticated user. You can just hide. So it's like, asking behind the screen,
Yeah.
right, from the screen. So it's like
Yeah.
that. So you can hide your identity and ask. So just this thing is really important, that you should start asking. Yeah, I yes, this is good. Great.
So I believe
Another
the
thing.
link is there in the description, right? In the description, we can find the link, right?
Oh yeah, I think in the video it is. I have added on YouTube the
I
classroom
see.
link, but I'll also, share. Yeah, I have added. In fact, yeah, and when I upload this video, I'll share it as
Sure.
well. Perfect. So yeah, there is one thing which is asked again. This is something we discussed, and this is about test series, right? So where should we join the test series and all is asked. This is really, I mean, I would like to take this question and then I'll pass on to you. This is last question. So if somebody has any question and we have anything in our comment, we will try to answer it, or otherwise, that would be the quick conclusion of our this session. So let me see. Good. So yeah, perfect. So the question is about test series, and what I believe is that this is really tricky this time, right? So because this is happening first time, if we, let's say, assume, these two subjects which are on our screen, maybe, yeah, so machine learning and AI basically. My screen is shared, right? Yeah, it is. So if we assume these two, nobody has seen the question, the pattern or anything, right? So one has to, whoever, so it's very easy, right? I mean, I have seen this trend that, if uh, one institute is there, or one, group is there, another group it's like, it's a freedom of getting questions from here and there, right? When you work on old stuff. But here somebody has to be knowledgeable, who is providing this guidance in these subjects, because all the questions has to be thought through and generated. I mean, there is a lot of hard work involved. So this time, if somebody, I mean, I think I would like to avoid answering that where should join the test series. Rather, I would say test series is something which which is really useful from day one, by the way. But I think that can wait. That can wait for a couple of months at least. Okay, so next 2-3 months. I would suggest you wait and watch for next 2 months to see, what are being floated online, right? And then meanwhile, we'll also sort of, see what we can do, right? And then you decide like where should you go for test series, because as I said, like this time it's not like, I mean, mostly you get similar question everywhere. So this time it is going to change. So I would suggest wait for it and practice the previous year questions for all the remaining subjects which are there. So that could be my suggestion at this point in time. Amrit, would you like to answer it?
I agree with that point. Yeah. So the point is that let's be very clear that you may get a lot of data science questions for your interview when you search for that in Google, right? Data science for interview, your next job interview, etc. But the point is that the IIS or any IIT for that matter, anyone who prepares question paper for GATE, they are not going to follow that pattern. They are going. I think let me use this term again. They are going to stick to the fundamentals, and that's not going to be very like what you see in this SEO based websites that talk about this data science questions, etc. So I would say, and more importantly, it's again getting question like taking a test series is one thing which gets you self assessment, but someone who can provide feedback based on the performance. So the test series that can help you provide that feedback, that is more important if you ask me.
Yeah,
So rather than someone just gives you, so it's very easy to get scores, fine, which gives you a self assessment. You can get the relative ranking also if you join a test series. Those two things are
right.
guaranteed in test series. So I believe something which is more slightly personalized, given that we don't have a history of patterns, right? We don't have a precedence in these two topics. I believe it makes sense to join a test series where the personalized info helps, personalized
Okay.
feedback helps. I
Hmm.
think that.
Good. So I think that's about it. We had just 2 questions for the session, and we are also almost close to our time we decided, so that this was a 30-minute session.
Yes.
Anything you would like to add, Amrit?
Um, Nothing as such. I think yeah, we will asynchronously keep on updating the resource documents, and yeah,
Right.
I think I can spare some time, answering questions if there are some questions in the discussion for I mean specific, the gate specific questions. Um, I think that's something we can do. So yeah.
Right. Good. So in fact, we have already added all the mentors for this, in the classroom, and people can already go ahead and ask their question. Okay. So, I mean, it can be technical, it can be non-technical, like the one we discussed right now. So
Yeah.
one thing you can do already is engage and start asking if you're not understanding anything or if you have any other questions. So yeah, that's about it. I think that's what we had to discuss. Thank you everyone for joining, and we will see each other in next 1 or 2 day again when we have the complete plan ready, which we can discuss and give you the plan which we are preparing. Trust me, it's like if you follow it like a Bible, okay, no one can stop you getting a good rank because it has covered everything, like your test score planning, your preparation planning, everything. Okay, so I'll do share it with you all in the classroom first, and then we will explain this during our call. So thank you everyone. We'll see each other again. Bye.
Bye.